we're here right now at Cleopatra's Needle on the Upper West Side. And this spot's important for Luge and I because we used to come here back in, what was it, like 2008, 2007, 2008, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We used to get together at our boy Ian's crib, and we would just jam out. And it was a cool time because we were all kind of learning instruments a little bit. I had really just started playing drums. It was like my first time playing drums. And these guys were playing jazz, you know, and they just all played their respective instruments. He was on keys a lot. And so, you know, I was kind of stuck with the drums, and I just kind of learned how to play by listening to what they were telling me. I had barely listened to jazz before that, just trying to get the swing down. And so, you know, we'd play all day. We'd, you know, stay at this kid's crib. He had like a studio. And then we were coming here afterwards. We'd come over to Cleopatra's Needle. There were cats jamming here at night, you know, and there were always great musicians in here. So we'd come by after, we'd grab a drink, and we ended up coming here to Cleopatra's Needle. And that was really a big start for us. We started improvising a lot. He picked up the keys again, right? That's when he picked up the keys?
Yeah.
All right.
We're alien.
Yo, I'm sitting back, got a glass of wine in the dime sack. Put on a fly track, I'm vibing and rewind that. I keep it classic cause the time when my mind's at. Places where I'm
It was to the point where we would just go to my boy's crib and find one standard or something, and it was even like we would read the music and it would take a while just to even get the chords down, you know. It was complete like elementary, you know, musicianship. And so it started from there. We would just like try to play tracks together. Barely even got into improvising yet, but it was more like kind of just like learning how to read sheet music, how to play with other people. And that's when, you know, Jay started playing. We actually have kind of like a mini album that was just like one day's worth of jamming, and it was actually like kind of interesting, you know. It wasn't anything too complicated, but it was like kind of our first sounds, our first forms of improvising. There was like some interesting rhythmic concepts that we had there, and just like you could tell that we hadn't played with each other for a while, but it's still something that I really kind of like treasure. Those couple of tracks that we played together. It was some cool stuff. But
it was very pure, you know. It was pure learning, and improvisation. Like, everybody was feeding off each other and throwing out ideas, and it was just pure learning and creativity on the spot, you know. And from cats who knew music, sort of, and liked music, but most of us didn't have much experience playing it, you know. So it was a raw introduction.
I was in a deep sleep, snuck away from a dream park and staring at the mean bugs. A giant green bug, a UFO gleaming. It seems difficult tough to see stuck in my head like crazy.
At that time I was working in finance in New York. You know, as we continued to do this and I got more interested in music, I felt myself also getting more pulled into my job and this professional career, which really wasn't related to any personal interests of mine. You know, I had a strong desire to speak Spanish fluently from my time in college studying in Spain. You know, I really wanted to travel, experience other cultures, and I just felt like I was getting sucked into this working life, you know, and I wanted to rhyme too. You know, rapping was also a big thing that I had been doing for years, but I had never been focused enough to write a song or make an album. And I just decided to go and travel, you know, so I made a decision to quit my job and moved to Buenos Aires, Argentina. This was in 2008. September of 2008, I went to Buenos Aires, Argentina with the goals of, you know, pursuing personal interests, music, getting better at drums, speaking Spanish. So I immediately sought out a jazz drummer out there. I was taking classes with him. And a couple years later, speaking of Luge, you know, I was telling him how cool it was out there. It was cheap, it was a great jazz scene. And I just convinced him to come through too.
Yo, it's a trip when the seasons switch. June, July, August bring the breeze like a breeze of praise. Blew me to a new town. The main reason this shit is going down. Flip my whole life around.
I've been in kind of a similar situation with the whole job kind of holding me down, just creatively, mentally. I was like getting really stressed out there and wanted something different, some kind of change. So it seemed like the thing to do, and you know, definitely a great decision.
was living with me in that house, and you know, I had some lyrics written. I had a hip hop group that I had already formed over there with some jazz cats. You know, we were kind of all doing improv stuff, but I was like, look, man, you know, let's try to make something together. I know your musical ability is way, you know, past what we need to make these hip hop beats that we want to make. You know, we already had an idea of what we wanted our shit to sound like, and I had these lyrics, and so I was already in the groove of writing. And so we started sitting down for some sessions and just, you know, working on chords with drum beats that we were making in these programs. And that's where this project sparked from, you know what I mean? So we were over there both studying music, our lives were focused on that. And, you know, we made one beat. I started writing some lyrics to it. Which was that first track? That was New School, right?
School,
the
yeah.
first one we made. Wrote the lyrics right after we made the beat, you know what I mean? And then we said, all right, let's try another one. And from there, you know, eventually we just kept doing it, kept making beats, and we liked how it was sounding.
Elevation, that's a new school education. It takes preparation, application, dedication. That's a new school. Live from the University of Rhymes and Beats. Welcome to the new school. Find your seats, and this is New York City, summer '93. Hip hop can't stand the hydrants leave.